All right, and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. We got this TV that, don't mind this right now. It's, you can see our reflection, but don't mind that. I'm here, Todd's here, Pedro's at City Hall, so he's not here. There was a meeting. There was a meeting today he had to cover, so he's not here because he's at City Hall. He'll be back next week. There won't be no meeting. Usually meetings are on Tuesdays, but they did it on Wednesday today. So, yeah, I don't know. But we here. We are. Got a lot going on. We're in week 3 of the NFL season.
Yes, we are.
And man, oh man, this NFL season is already off to a very interesting start. We got the Lamar Jackson show came to New England, and then I don't know I said last week Mac Jones been looking shaky, and then in this game he decided to throw an interception at the most inopportune time with them having a chance to take the lead. I think they were down like 6 or something like that. I think they was down like 31, 26. Could have taken the lead, and then he just, I don't know what he was thinking. He just threw it.
Sophomore year, right?
Yeah.
Sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump will just.
And, and they're able to key on you this year because they know what you bring to the table. And with 4 turnovers, you're not really going to win any games, especially with 3 interceptions. And all you had to do was value the ball. He was getting 10 yards per pass.
Just giving them the ball, though.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, for him to have so much yardage per pass, he's just giving them more opportunity than he needed to.
And he got hurt.
Yeah,
messed up his ankle, too.
But he did do that.
How many sacks they got? How many sacks? How many times was he sacked?
I did not get that stat, actually. Well, what I was going to say is, 3. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much from the Pats against the Ravens. I figured the Ravens were going to just do what they do. I figured this is going to be a up and down year for the Pats just because, them sophomore years from a quarterback, they're able to key on. There's no surprising people anymore, so he's going to have to live in the playbook, live in the film room, and just honestly get better. But, my thing with the Ravens is Lamar still had 11 carries. He had like 5 or 6 more than the next running back who's carrying the ball. Like, they have to be careful with his usage rate.
At this point, their running backs are useless. They don't really have – useless is not the right term. My bad. Their running back are just – they're not too sure about their running backs right now. J.K. Dobbins, he's coming back from an ACL injury. This guy Hill, they're just trying to figure out what he is. So it's just like, all right, you're just going to have to do this until we figure out these running back situations, who can, be the workhorse running back. Because it was Dobbins until he got hurt. But the other thing with the Pats, I talked about it during preseason, is their offense. I don't know what's going on with their offense. They had moments in this game. Devontae Parker had a great game. But it's just, I don't know what the identity is for this offense. I don't know what they're trying to do. I just don't know.
Are they still missing some coaches?
They still don't know. You got random guys being offensive coordinators
That's
right now.
What I mean. They don't have any name guys in these positions to actually make.
Just a bunch of guys that used to be there and came back.
Well, that's kind of the culture of the past. But after a while, the well gonna run dry. So the culture at some point has to change. And I thought the culture would have changed when Tom Brady left. Because once Brady left, the coaches shifted. So with that being said, they should have just kind of clean house to a certain extent. And Belichick got to know when his time's up. I'm not saying it's this year, but it slowly at some point you're not going to be able to relate to the youth. And he's in his, late 60s, early 70s? I doubt he can relate to, for one, I doubt he could even relate to Brady back in the day. So I doubt he can relate to these guys now.
He been in football since the late 70s. So
Yeah, my parents was born in 66 and 65, bro.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
He been in the NFL for too long.
Yeah, if anything, just step away from the sideline and go in the box somewhere, man.
Or just adapt.
Yeah,
he needs to adapt. He needs to get some new faces over there to come up with different ideas. Because granted, the defense is not bad.
No.
The defense has been playing well. It's just when your offense gives up the ball 4 times, it's hard. It's just hard for a defense to just continually be on the field.
That's 1 turnover a quarter. And sometimes they don't even score every quarter.
Yeah.
So you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
But, it's one game. Granted, their running game's not looking awful. They need to utilize it a little more. But in order for them to utilize it, Jones has to value the ball.
Yeah. Well, it don't get easier for them. They're on the road against the Packers this weekend. And then, they got a Detroit team that's not the same old Detroit Lions teams that just roll over They're actually competing.
Remember, a lot of these bottom of the barrel teams are no longer at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. They're
crawling up there.
Yeah, man. One team that's really been crawling up is the Miami Dolphins. They made quite the statement on Sunday with their win over the Bills. Both teams coming in undefeated. And the most impressive thing about this was the Dolphins defense holding the Bills to 19 points. A team that came in, they scored 41 in like 37 points or something like that. Their first two games, and the Dolphins defense just held them down. And I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to just the Dolphins team, because this was a complete team win.
Yeah, man. They're no longer bottom of the barrel. They turned from maggots to flies. They flew their way out the barrel. Yeah. Nah, man. Honestly, this is great for Miami.
Yeah.
For them to win the way they did, with Tua only throwing the ball 18 times, their defense jumping all over Allen Paws. But I don't know what the Bills are doing. I get it. You guys are high on Allen, and you got to, I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Have very high hopes for him this season. But throwing the ball 63 times?
They try to make sure he win every. Yeah, that I don't even understand. I don't even understand that strategy of throwing it 63 times, especially when it wasn't like you needed to throw the ball all that many times in a close football game.
Bro, he threw the ball 63 times, and he ran the ball 4 more times than Zach Moss. That's a problem. That's not a formula of success. So I get it. You guys excited that you got like a all-pro player type quarterback that can do multiple things, but you gotta use him in the right spots and be smart about things.
Yeah, I mean, big quarterbacks like that take so many hits, they don't really last long. They have a short shelf, and you just go back to that fourth quarter with the Dolphins. That second half in general, the Dolphins held them to 5 points. 5 total points. They got a safety off a butt punt. And
it is not worse than the butt fumble.
It's not, but they got a butt punt out of it, a safety crazy out of it. And, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Tyreek was double teamed the whole game, and Tua was finding Jalen Waddle. What I liked about the Dolphins, the balance. Yeah. The balance. 18 passes, 17 runs. That's a good recipe for success. And it seems like Tua's figuring it out, even though he was concussed and he came back in the game. It's just like
he's just not. He's a good player. Yeah. He's a good player. He's definitely. I'm sure he stays locked into the. I was just trying to find the word cerebral. He's like.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's the word, right? Yeah. So he's a thinker before anything. You got some of these guys who are all talent.
Yeah.
He's gonna think you guys are pot. 18 passes, 9.3 yards a pass. Like, he was on point. That's really all it was. Like.
Yeah, that whole team was on point, and the way they I just like how they played and executed in this game.
The Bills had a chance if they can convert in the red zone.
A chance if they knew how to. You see this clock management?
Oh, bro, yeah.
They doubled the Dolphins in time of possession, and they still lost because turnovers. Conversions, and the game. I don't even know what was that at the end of the game. So, yeah, Bills gonna look at themselves in the mirror like they need to come. It's a good loss for them because they kind of needed to come down to reality because everybody was just talking about how, they're putting up all these points and it's like, oh my gosh, how are you gonna stop them? And then what happened? They got stopped. And kudos to their coach, the Dolphins coach, Mike McDaniels, on his first. In his first year, think of the coaches he beaten. Belichick, he beaten Harbaugh, and then this guy, I forget his name. I forget the Bills coach name, but he's a good coach too. So he's beating 3 quality coaches.
If you want to put that on your resume as beating Belichick, I don't really see it like that, but I get it. But I wouldn't put that on my resume.
I would. I'm putting that on my resume. I beat that dude.
That's like beating Jordan when he's 40 with the Wizards.
Hey, man.
I get it, but it's not the same. I get it, though, but it's not the same.
A win's a win.
Oh, yeah, against the team, coaches-wise, nah.
I'm still there. I beat Belichick.
I guess.
Philly, another team. They've came out the gate. They're actually living up to the expectations that they had coming out this season. Washington, I don't even understand Washington. I don't even want to talk about Washington no more, but I'm going to talk about Philly, how they pretty much, the game was won in the second quarter. That was it. The game was won in the second quarter. And Jalen Hurts threw 3 touchdowns in that quarter, 350 yards, and Washington is just Washington.
I don't even know why we're talking about this game at all. Like, They got sacked 9 times.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, you don't value your quarterback. He had no chance at all. This game, he basically blowing smoke in the air talking about this team.
I didn't even see that 9
Yeah,
sacks.
they got sacked 9 times, bro.
Jeez Louise. And that was another team that was supposed to come in with all these high hopes. But, yeah, Philly's actually living up to the hype that came in with the talent that they have, because they were saying they have probably one of the better rosters in the league. And the only question mark was the quarterback. But the quarterback's been playing well so far in these first 3 games. The valuing the ball, as you said, no turnovers. Getting the ball to his playmakers, Smith, A.J. Brown, those guys are really a focal point of the offense. And, yeah, Philly, we've been counting them for the last several years, but they've really they started off well. Let's hope they continue, but
yeah, I don't put too much stock in, I get it, 350, 3 TDs, 9.7 yards a pass, but you play Washington. And it seems like their defense has fell off a little bit compared to last year and the year before that. So we're going to see what he does against legit talent, but I like the strides he's making.
This game actually coming up that they have coming up this weekend is going to be a pretty good one against the Jaguars, a team that they're kind of looking like a legitimate team. And it's it's the former Eagles coach on the Jaguars, so he's probably going to be anxious to play them the way things ended over there. And just another team the Jaguars got on their roster. They have a lot of talent on their roster, and they're finally utilizing it. So, Doug Peterson making Urban Meyer look like a fool the way.
Unfortunately, Urban's great at doing that himself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I got no issues with Urban, because, I know your issues, but, he has no problem making a fool out of himself.
This is facts. All right. Other NFC East, Dallas went into New York, and they came back on the Giants, got the 23-16 win. Cooper Rush, we might have a little quarterback controversy in Dallas.
Copper doing it proper.
I'm just saying, the way he's been playing, the way he's played quarterback for the Cowboys, they don't fall behind big like they normally do when the other guy's in there. I'm just saying, this is all just my observation.
Bro, their plays are basically split down the middle.
Yeah.
31 passes to 30 rushes, bro. Mm-hmm. Then you got rushing by committee.
Yep.
Paul with 13 rushes, 105, 8.1 a carry. Zeke, 15 rushes, 73, almost 5 yards a carry. Zeke's not who he once was, it looks like. Mm-hmm. But for you to have 2 running backs that can compete and help Rush just be, I want to say, cool and poised throughout the game.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need the run game, especially with him.
Definitely, and they have the defense too. Their defense has been playing really well. So I think at this point, all they need to do is just get 20 points, and they'll probably be good with the way the defense has been playing. But the Giants, Daniel Jones, oh my Lord.
Can you get to the red zone, dude? Can you just make it there? Can you just get there?
He looks worse and worse by every snap. Each year. It's like he's not getting better at all. And for a guy that was picked so high in the draft, it's looking like a hot mess.
And what people don't realize, when we were talking about when the place he was picked in, it wasn't based on it was based on who he was, but it's they don't understand each year you have to get better.
Yeah.
And you gotta have some type of skill set that translate out there. What is he really good at?
Yeah, it's just all bad. And it's not like he's short of weapons, because they surrounded him with weapons, with receivers and running backs and stuff like that. It's just you are not progressing as a quarterback, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
That is a major problem.
And that's what some people see in these draft picks. They see the potential. And I didn't see much potential from him. He just had a lot of connections that put him in the front of people. Helped him cut the line, basically. He knew who owned the club.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, because, you continue to play this. I don't know who the Giants' backup quarterback is, but you continue to play this poorly, you might be holding the playbook and having a headset on you by the time week 7 comes around, because this Giants team got talent. And they showed they could play, but the quarterback, man.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want Barkley just to waste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just waste his career there.
Especially coming back from an injury and playing the way he did.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts, if you ain't watched them the week before, they got shut out by the Jaguars. So notably, you would think the Chiefs are just going to go in there and, take care of business. But no, they did not. They went in there and decided to play with their food, and then
Typical Chiefs.
And then 4th and 25 came in. I just don't understand. You would think they would have learned from that offsides a couple years ago in the playoffs about being disciplined at the end of the game, but clearly not. And I think, no, it's not the same guy, but he was on that team.
It's hard to be disciplined when you're playing the Colts and you're the Chiefs. They should have walked in this. I mean, they only lost by 3. Yeah. Bro, I watched the replay last night. Text you said they were showing it on the NFL Network. Yeah. Now, I know there aren't plays that, like, determine a game, but in the red zone, why did that man think it was smart to try to jump from the 4th-yard line into the end zone? And then they got nothing out of it at all. And I'm like, oh, that's a game right there if you ask me. Because it's like,
he was Superman.
And people don't realize, like, if he would have ran it in, he would have got a yard or 2. Yeah. That would have helped you get into the end zone. Not just jump 4 yards away. You're nowhere near the end zone. He tried to Bo Jackson it. This ain't Auburn.
He thought he was Superman. He thought he was Superman. Yeah, and then Travis Kelsey, my goodness, you know, there's always this talk about him or Gronk or him being better than Gronk, and then there's games like this when it's just like, yeah, I don't know why that's even a discussion. He dropped so many passes, and so many passes that could have led to first down and stuff. It was just ridiculous.
First of all, I'm thinking about, like, Gronk, Antonio Gonzalez. What's my homeboy that played for Atlanta or the Chargers? Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates, yeah.
Then we might talk about the Kelseys and all that, but Gronk was unreliable.
Yeah.
Like, did they not realize that?
Yeah, especially on 3rd down. It was hard to watch. I'm pretty sure he watched that film. He was probably like, damn, I'm trash. Because the way, as many passes as he dropped, and it's not like it were like tough passes to catch. It was just like, you are dropping these passes.
He probably just had a bad game. You know, he is pretty legit though.
Playing with their food.
Yeah, this is true. and that is, remember I talked about this. Like they do these things against the bad teams. They even lose against bad teams, but I didn't think they're gonna lose this early to these guys. I thought a good team would have just reminded them to stop playing with people like this. Yeah. But apparently a bad team reminded them to stop playing with people like this. And out of all teams.
Yeah.
And then how do you go scoreless in the 4th?
Playing with their food.
But they no field goals, missing field goals, like
getting cute. They was getting cute. I guess they didn't learn their lesson from the championship game when they got cute, and that's how they ended up going to the Super Bowl.
Only converted 3 third downs the whole game. Like, that was ridiculous.
Message to everybody: please don't play with your food. All right, especially when you're hungry. Just eat that thing.
Especially in the woods, because somebody else will come and swipe it from you. That's why you're hunting.
All right, before we go to No Huddle, yeah, I said this a couple days. You know, I know there was a time Brady's starting to look like the old man.
He look old.
He look old. He's playing old.
He's extra tan.
It's not looking good for the Bucs. Well, granted, they're 2-1 right now, but the Bucs offense, here's a stat, they have yet to score a touchdown in the first half in their first 3 games. The defense is good. I think for the Bucs, they got a good defense. I think all the offense got to do is give them 17 points and they'll be good.
Bro, they only converted 2 third downs the whole game. They got to get them down the field, at least field goal range or something. You only lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
Something. You gotta get them down the field.
Yeah, I mean, you get 19 points. You got 20 points in the second game. You got 12. So, I'm legitimately the Bucs defense. This is looking like one of those defenses. You give them 17 to 20 points, you're good. You probably don't have to do anything else on offense. So, and also for the Bucs, they didn't have Mike Evans because of the suspension. Oh yeah, they had a couple guys, a couple of their receivers. So, a couple of their starting receivers weren't playing in this one, but still, it's just like the offense just need to get there and get the points. But I mean, kudos to the Packers. They needed to win.
I mean, Rodgers and Jones and Dillon, well balanced. You know what I mean? He threw, 35 passes, completed 27 for 255, 2 TDs, 1 in tow. But then, running back by committee. Both Jones and Dillon both had 12 carries each, spreading the wealth. Because, once again, you don't have Adams anymore, so you have to figure out new ways to get the ball down the field. Yeah, and they did that.
Yeah,
Granted, the game wasn't what we wish it would be. We wish it was a shootout.
Yeah.
But, what was it? Just win, baby? JWB?
Yeah,
just win, baby.
Just win. And you see what the Bucs defense did in the second half. They shut them out. And, all they needed was just the offense to give them a couple more points. So, hopefully they bounce back. They get their guys back. And, they need to put up 21 points or so.
We need Fournette, man, to get moving.
Yeah.
Only 12 carries, though. He needs more than that.
Yeah.
Especially to help Brady. Brady's getting sacked 3 times.
Yeah, they need granted, who they got coming up? I don't know who they got coming up. They got, don't get easier. They got Kansas City. So.
Well, it depends how Kansas City looks at them.
They're at home. They're at home.
It's warm. It don't even matter.
Yeah, but they're home. They don't got to travel.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Game might not happen, though, because there's a hurricane. There's a big hurricane coming down there, so it might get relocated somewhere.
And 2, it's already relocated, actually.
The game?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
It's Miami.
Oh, the game's
I saw it
in
either
Miami.
this morning or last night.
Okay.
And it's hot down there, too. I had to remember that. Like, a lot of teams been cramping up and having issues because it's super hot down there.
Yeah, everybody drink your water. Drink your water. All right, we're going to go to Craig, to No Huddle, then we're going to come back and do some other stuff.
What up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig, fresh out the shower, ready to give you my starts of the week. Starting off, Russell Wilson going up against the Raiders. I think this is going to be the game where he finally puts up the numbers you hope he would. Raiders have had a tough time and haven't been able to win games. So this is going to be a back-and-forth shootout, and I like Russell Wilson's chances in this game. Matt Stafford going up against the 49ers. Tough defense, but I believe that, once again, he is also a quarterback that can shine this week, having had a rough week last week. So look for a bounce back. Matt Ryan has Michael Pittman back. His team's at full strength. They're going up against Tennessee Titans that are a pretty beat-up team, so I like their chances. At wide receiver, Adam Thielen going up against the Saints. Justin Jefferson is going to be covered by Lattimore, so they're going to want to get the ball to Thielen early and often. Amari Cooper, good matchup this week as well. Had a great week this past week, and look for him to build upon that. DJ Chark, the Lions, have a really good matchup going up against Seattle. So I think that DJ Chark is going to continue to build on his progress as the number 2 wide receiver. Cortland Sutton going up against the Raiders. Look for him to have an excellent week. A guy that, if you haven't picked up from the Raiders, why is his name escaping me? Hollins. Excellent wide receiver. If you haven't picked him up off the waiver wire and he's still sitting there, you need to grab him, and I would start him this week. For running backs, James Conner, really good matchup this week. I like the chances for him. Herbert going up against the Giants. David Montgomery might not get to play this week, so if Herbert comes in, I would expect to start him and expect good production. Ezekiel Elliott going up against the Commanders. The Commanders have been playing terrible football, and Ezekiel Elliott is due for a breakout game. And if Dalvin Cook cannot suit up, look for Alexander Mattison to take over the backfield and have a good game. At the tight end position, David Njoku. Like I said, the Browns have a good matchup, and I like his chances. Had a touchdown the week before, so look for him to do really well. Cowboys are going up against Washington, so once again, look for their players to do well. So I actually like Dalton Schultz. A lot of people have either dropped him or have committed him to the bench. This is going to be the week that he breaks out. Hawkinson, the tight end for the Lions. Once again, another player looking for a breakout week. Has a good matchup against Seattle. So I believe Hawkinson is a start this week at the tight end position. And then finally, a guy who has underperformed, in my opinion, grossly all season long is Dawson Knox. And they're facing, they have a good matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. And I believe that he will have a decent game and at least score a touchdown. Finally, for defenses, I got 2 for you. Grab the Lions and grab the Cowboys off the waiver wire and start one of them this week. Cowboys against Washington and Lions against Seattle. So those are my picks. I like the rookie wide receiver from Seattle. From the Steelers as well. For some reason, his name is escaping me. But I would give him an opportunity to start this week if you are desperate at the wide receiver position. I know this year it's been really tough for people to have decent pickups off the waiver wire. A lot of players that we thought were going to perform well are not showing up. Quarterback position is extremely tight right now. And no, there's not many defenses putting up a lot of numbers. That's my dog in the background going absolutely ape-ish, came from a walk. So those are the picks I have for you this week. So until next week, I'll see you back here on No Huddle, here on After the Whistle. See ya.
And we are back. Thank you, Craig, for that. All right, +1 interview, my man, Jose Garcia. +1 interview, I Hoop Crazy Media. Check this out, and then we got some more stuff to talk about. Hello, and welcome to another special edition of +1 interview. This time we got Jose. I Hoop Crazy. If you don't know them, you should already know them. If you love basketball, you should be following their Instagram page, I Hoop Crazy. But we got a lot of basketball to talk about. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
It's school started, and that teaching life is something else. So
Yeah, man.
it is what it is. But I Hoop Crazy. The page. I randomly. So this is how I got it. Info of the page. It randomly popped up on my Discover page. Mm-hmm. I saw it, and then I was like, oh, snap. Okay. Then I saw some players I've seen before. Then I saw you guys did some stuff with some players out here. Like, that's when I started following it. But when did you start with I Hoop Crazy?
I would say I started the page or the company 2 years ago.
Okay.
So like 2020 when COVID happened. Yeah.
Was that just something you was just like, it's COVID. I love basketball. Let me just try to use like my skills as far as like media and what I know to just use this as a way to like build up players and spotlight the talent that's around here.
Yeah, I would say when I first started, I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. I didn't know specifically what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I knew that I wanted to create a brand. Yeah. And I knew that I wanted to make videos. Yeah. And I wanted to grow a brand and help players promote themselves. Yeah,
definitely. And we need. This is the day and age for that, because a lot of these players, coaches are looking at stuff like that, and from you may have not thought about. Like, you may have not thought about it in that way. Like, you just wanted to put out basketball, but now some kids probably got offers from the stuff you posted and stuff.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of impact. Yeah. Like I'm noticing now, and as of recent, there's a lot of impact or influence that we have when we post. If we say, for example, like we'll put up a post sometimes and say like, these AAU programs are the programs to watch, or these players are the players to watch. And when we posted, like me and my small team, we're just going off of what we've seen. We're going off of what we think. But the way the market takes it and the way the kids take it and the programs take it, they take it, way more serious than what we expected.
Yeah, and also, like, with this day, because basketball, like, that was like 20 years ago, 15. I don't even probably like 10 years ago. So with basketball-wise, you wasn't getting a lot of, like, highlights on, because social media wasn't that big at that point. So it was kind of, for those players that really weren't, like, on the cusp of getting scholarships, or, they were like, they were there, but they just weren't there yet. Yeah, you could if they had this and they could get more film out, they probably would have got more looks. But nowadays, they got his videos everywhere, so it's they could get offers just even if if they're not good if they're not there yet to be at that level. But some coaches will watch their tape and see the potentials in these videos, and they're like, oh, okay, we might bring him in and see what he does. Yeah,
the mixtapes, like I said, they have a lot of impact on a lot of things. The first thing a college coach asks for or a scout asks for is film. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing they ask for. So we're in the business of making film. You know, a lot of these kids need it, and I think on a street level, on a local level, I think the mixtapes they give you some sauce to your game, to your name. You know.
And it gives you motivation too, because say you're a player, you think you're good, you see a mix of another player who might be in the same class as you doing work, and you're just like, oh, this kid's doing this, he's getting all this. I need to get back in the lab, and maybe because if I run into him one day, I don't want to be in there looking a fool because I see what he can do, and you come to the competition and you're not ready for it, even though you see what the person could do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's very deceiving too. I think it works both ways. Like you get a player that's not good, and they can finesse the camera. They know if they buy 7 games, that the video is going to come out good.
Yeah.
So that's what they do, and then when the video's out, everyone thinks that they're as good as the video shows, but they're really not.
Yeah, and usually it always plays out that way too, because once you get on the court, it's like, all right, this is where it really shows.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell if you're a real hooper. You could tell, through a good mixtape if the person is good or not. But sometimes there are some really good creators who do their job.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for you having a small team, just trying to, you can't be at every game and stuff. How is it just trying to navigate throughout? We got high school basketball season, and you got the AAU circuit and stuff like that. How's it for you and your team just navigating through all that, because there's so many games and there's like so many things happening during basketball season. You can't get to all the games.
Yeah, I think that you want to wait because that's pretty loud. And I'm just trying to make sure that got me. Like it's gonna catch me cool where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so close, because
No, the mic's on.
No, the mic, but the camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I got a good. Angle.
You don't want to get out the frame.
Yeah. That's all. I do this too. You know what I'm saying? I know. So. All right.
What was my question?
I don't know.
Oh, navigating through the basketball season. There's so many. You and your team can't be at every game. How is it just how you guys navigate through these? How do you guys find which games to go to? Because you got basketball season, and once like high school basketball season's over, you got the AAU circuit happening. There's so many AAU games, AAU tournaments around, even here throughout the nation and throughout the state too. How you guys just are able to find a way to get to the important games and all that?
Yeah. So for us, for iHoop Crazy, it's our media is a paid service with an extra eye, and I say extra eye because we're always watching the better players, the better games. So we're watching that, but for the most part, it's the kids that pay for it, the parents that pay for it. That's how we target on, and who we target. The kids who want the videos. But we recently have this deal with the millwork, so that's our headquarters for a little while.
Okay.
For the fall and the spring. And so when we're there, I have my media team. We're on the floor, and then whatever teams come in and they want videos, they hook us, or they order from us and we hook them up, and it's really easy to get to because we're already on site.
Yeah, definitely. You guys have not. You said that you highlighted a lot of players throughout the year. Who's some of the players that you were really like, wow, he's really doing amazing things?
Okay.
Or he or she is really doing amazing things, I should say.
Yeah, I love the question. There's a lot of players that I think are really dope. I would say, and I have like my personal favorites, like Nay Adams from Tilton.
Okay.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
Kellen Priera.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said her name right, her last name. From St. Mary's.
Yeah, she just recently
committed. Yeah. Shout out to.
I think 3 of them committed. Three of those players from St. Mary's committed. There's just some players out there that, they're just fun to watch. So I would say those 2 are one of them. And then on the guys' side, you got so many. AJ DeMonsta, obviously. That boy he's only gonna be a freshman too.
He's
that
crazy,
is so.
Yeah.
That is the scariest part about him in his game. It's just like you see how he plays, and you're just like, he's only 14.
Yeah. He's crazy. He's like
advanced too.
He's like a grown man,
right?
Yeah. Who else? I would say there's just so many.
Yeah.
Jamie Hill, Mason Hill. I'm a huge girls basketball fan.
Yeah. Who's were you at the Letterfly Classic?
No.
Oh man, there was a girl, a young lady. She's Asian. She was shooting that ball. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but
Yeah. She's gonna be watching this.
She's gonna be a sophomore, I believe. And
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll find her in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was. Her game was serious.
Yeah. I have a few girls on my all-star team showcase. Armani's fun to watch. She's from Providence. You probably don't know her. Yeah, she's crazy. Tiara Gonzalez, she's fun to watch.
From Providence.
From Providence.
Okay.
Yeah. So those girls, they're fun to watch.
Is there like a lot? I know Rhode Island. They got players too. I mean, they have the big man. He's like in Southern Cal right now. He went to Springfield Commonwealth for a while. Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah. Damn.
I think Miranda is.
Miranda. Here you go.
Yeah. So Rhode Island, Rhode Island does produce players.
They do.
Do you think they just get overlooked just because they're so? It's
nah, man, that's a deep convo.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're getting overlooked.
Okay.
I think the problem is there's close to 1,500 AAU teams in Rhode Island, and Rhode Island's the smallest state in the country.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the culture of Rhode Island is mine, give me.
Gotcha.
So I think the talent out there is just being spread so thin.
Yeah.
And then the AAU owners, instead of coming together,
Yeah.
they just wanna get mine.
Yeah.
So it's just a get mine culture over there. And the same with Mass, but Mass it's so big.
Yeah. All right, and we are back. Okay, some other stuff in the sports world that's been happening. First, let's go with Brett Favre, and Brett Favre, man. So basically, he stole welfare money just so he could be able to get money to build a new stadium at his alma mater, Southern Mississippi. Well, this is a big crime. Apparently, the governor of the state assisted him with it.
Yeah, text messages, bro.
Yeah, there's a whole paper trail on it, and Brett Favre should be in jail right now, pretty much, because you just took all that money, and then not to mention the issues going on in Mississippi with the water and all that, and go ahead, man.
And I know a lot of people that he was once their favorite player, my favorite player. No longer. Nah, bro, like, this is unacceptable. I always, like, when you see people from, like, the deep South and they play against a sport that is majority people of color, I always wonder, like, how do they feel about these people? And then years later when you retire, they basically show you how they feel about these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause it makes me wonder, like, when you went to team dinners, camaraderie in the locker room, out at events, did you even really value the people you were playing with?
Yeah.
Because if you did, you think about them, because you see that, I'm not saying they're from Mississippi, but the lower privileged people, unfortunately, in that area, predominantly brown.
Yeah, and especially for a state where it's like there's not, the people that leave that state leave for a reason because there's like not that many opportunities. And then for the people that stayed and kind of relied on that service, and you just took that away from them. Now, they got no water, they got no money.
First of all, he should be donating to all that.
Yeah.
He should be adding money to that. You the Wrangler man.
Right.
No, we don't wear that shit, but I'm sure you got mad people out there wearing Wranglers. You got all that Wrangler money. Like, you don't need. That's just greed, bro. Like, that's just him trying to hold on to his and trying to take theirs. But it's like, they need that. You don't.
Yeah, especially for school. I'm pretty sure the facilities are not that bad over there. And the stadium, you don't need a new stadium that badly. If you look at some of the other schools in that state that kind of need more funding and need stuff for certain stuff, but it's just disheartening that people could do something like that and not even think about how it's going to affect the people that readily rely on that for not for themselves but for their kids and stuff like that.
You don't know he's Brett Favre? I mean, I know he knows because he asked if people are going to find out things like that. But, like, I don't understand. Like, that's just different level of selfish. I don't even understand.
Like, you couldn't put together a fundraiser?
That's like some dictator selfishness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, God forbid he's in charge of something important. Like, he's ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, and it's like you can't put together a fundraiser or something. You mean you have all these connections, you can't do some type of fund to help you?
Actually, remember he was getting paid to speak, but he didn't show up to any of those things.
Well, just to let you know, there's a lot of trash people in the world.
And I didn't think he was gonna fall in the barrel.
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah. Very sad. Okay, another one. You know, all the crazy stuff happens after our show's over. So, night we get like a very vague text about. I see a very vague message. Celtics head coach potentially suspended for a whole year. You know, violating team rules or something like that, or something like team violations. That was like the tweet. It was very vague. So I'm like, oh, he must have did something really serious. You know, I'm thinking maybe like tampering or trying to talk. And then it was found out, you know, he engaged in some extracurricular activities with the female employee of the team, and
he was shooting, but not hoops.
Yeah, and the way this whole story just came out was terrible, because I know somebody from the Celtics leaked it. Terribly handled, putting people in positions that they don't want to be in, putting all the women that work for the team, like, you know, now they're getting all these people trying to look who they are, putting their photos up on social media and stuff like that. So unwarranted attention coming to them, and I was like, because when I first read it, I was like, yo, they're giving this dude a suspension for a year. I'm like, he's getting the same as the guy from the Suns. I'm like, I was just like, because the way they stated it was a consensual relationship, and I was like, for a consensual. But then the information came out. I was like, oh, okay, understand, got it, cool. Which you should have waited before you put out a statement and got all the information so people would know.
We live in a world that's very messy. Remember COVID?
Yeah.
That was messy as it got, with information and false things and all this. So people should take a lesson from that. Just wait and find out all the facts before you start ruining people's lives. Just because, and then like, did he say his name? Did the person say who they were that leaked it? Whole lame. Like, somebody need to slap you for that. Like, let people find out when they need to find out, but it's not your job to tell other people's business. Honestly, you know me, bro. I'm professional and minding my own business. So it bothers me when people try to snoop and do things, but it's like, well, how is that affecting you personally?
Yeah, and it definitely came from the organization, but it's like they had the information already, so they could have just waited. And you put it out in like the middle of the night, when like everybody's asleep, so it's just like first thing people wake up. Or if people are still out there seeing that and now they got to go dig. It was just like you could have waited early on because you had the information, you knew what was going on, but now
there was a hater in the office.
Apparently.
I mean, think about it. We deal with haters at work, and that's at school at a small scale. Just imagine a professional world like that.
Yeah.
A professional organization. Always a couple haters in there. Some people are mad just by how he walked around.
Yeah.
You know how it goes, bro. They hate your energy.
Yeah, and this was like, the timing was terrible just because media day was on Monday. Everything started this week for them. You know, this is coming off. You lose the finals. You're coming off one of your big free agent signings. He's not going to play. He's done for the year, and now you got this. It's like everything that could go wrong for them in the summer leading up to the season went wrong.
And too, once you get in these positions, unfortunately, you feel like you should be able to live your life the way you want to live it. But there are people who are trying to knock you off your pedestal, and you got to hold yourself to a higher standard. Yeah. You can't be just old regular Udoka.
And you're the head coach.
Yeah,
you preach accountability and being smart. This was a smart. I read an article that said it best. That he acted selfish and pretty much derailed the whatever momentum they had going into the season because he's a smart coach. He showed he could coach. He had people looking forward to year 2 of him coaching and, bringing the team to the finals. You look for what he's going to do year 2. And now might not even be on the team. They might fire him. It's because it's kind of a serious thing that was going on, and for all these allegations are true. It's a very fireable offense. So it's just like your coaching future might be in jeopardy as well because they fire you. You're not gonna be coaching for a while. It's gonna be years.
I'm not big on the whole. I don't even know how to just say random comments to a woman. Like, you know what I mean? Like in public like that. Like, have a relationship with people before you just start saying random words. Like, stop thinking so highly of yourself. You think people want to hear that shit from you? Like, let's be real. Like, just because every woman looks at you, don't mean they want you.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with 2 very confident men, we understand that. So, like, the rest of the world got to really understand that. The rest of the world got to just humble themselves, bro, as a whole.
Yeah. And it's work, too. You know that's the messiest. That's the messiest place.
And understand who your lady is. There's more haters that want to date her. So it's like, see you later. You know what I mean? So you know, like, people gonna, Nia Long's been, I had a question with Nia Long since I was in middle school, early elementary.
And then her name gets brought into this.
Like, come on, man.
Right?
Like,
and you don't even know if they're still together. They could have been separated.
a lot of people said it's only a story because he's with Nia Long.
Oh, yeah.
And which I'm sure it's more of a story because you're with Nia Long. I'm sure that's not the only reason. But I'm sure some people are dying to let this out the bag, bro.
Right? And it's just like, also like, they could have been separated already, too. So nobody knows the story. So, messy. Albert Pujols, congratulations to him. 700 home runs. He hit his 700th one once again, I think it was Friday or something when he hit his 700th home run. Very dope. He did it in LA against the Dodgers. Even the Dodgers, like some of the Dodgers managers and stuff, they were like, they gave him a standing ovation. There were like other players from other games. They were watching it and stuff because they were showing it on the
He used to play in Cali, right?
Yeah, he was for the Angels. Yeah. So he got a lot of respect. There was, a lot of teams stopped the games just to see that moment, which was pretty cool for him. And like I said, 700 home runs is only few and far that's gotten to that plateau.
What is like 5 on the list of 4 or 5?
Something like that.
So, you have to stop the games or something like that. Cause it's like almost, you say, once in a lifetime type deal. So, yeah, definitely kudos to him, man. Kudos to man.
The guy that caught that ball, he ain't getting back. I was like,
He didn't give it back.
He didn't give the ball back. I was like, I'm gonna hold it for a little something.
I need some bread.
Yeah.
I don't want no tickets. I don't want no hot dogs. I ain't no Glizzy Gladiator.
Right.
I want some bread.
I need some money for that. I would have done something like, I got you. Throw me a couple.
You want 700? I take 700,000.
Right.
Just make it easy for the math,
So congratulations to him. Also, I think this guy, Judge, I think he's got like 62 home runs now or something like that.
Yeah, whatever. He ain't Pujols right now.
He ain't done.
He's in the shadow today.
All right, it's time for our high school sports segment. All right, first up is the coach's interview. This one is called Coach Driscoll from St. Mary's after their 12-10 win over Bishop Feheen. That was a really, really good game.
Where is that place?
Far.
All right, Coach, this was a hard-fought victory.
Oh, yeah.
Low-scoring game. How did you like your team's resolve throughout?
Well, I tell you, we squeaked one out there on a big punt return, Disappointed how we finished the first half, obviously. Had a lead, gave up a big play for a touchdown, and then they got a last second field goal with time running out. So we kind of let our foot off the gas a little bit, I thought, at the end of the half, made some mistakes. Again, too many penalties with our team, but you know what? It's a sign of a good team when you can recover from those penalties, step it up, and get it done, and finish the game strong. So we squeak out a win, but we got a long way to go. That's a good football team. It's a good program, and it's a big win for us.
And your defense came up with big plays after big plays, especially down the stretch.
Joel Maggs was unbelievable again tonight. Tommy Falaska, Nick Sacco, those guys, Jack Marks, they hung in there. At times they pushed us a little bit, but when the money was on the line, they really stepped up and made some great plays. So I'm really, really happy for our team to get the win tonight and get out of here with our lives. But it was a good win. It was a good team win. It came down to a special teams play to win the game. So it was great. And again, our defense is playing really well right now.
All right, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, and we are back. Next up, we had Tommy Falaska. So I was gonna interview Joel Maggs because he had a crazy game. I think he had like 13 tackles or something like that. But he got hurt.
Okay.
Coach said he wasn't doing too well. I'm sure he's gonna play this weekend, but just after the game, he wasn't doing too well. I was like, oh damn. Well, okay. Well, let me get the other big guy. So I got Tommy Falaska. Here he is.
All right, Tommy, this was a defensive game. They slowed your offense down, but you guys made enough plays, got a special teams touchdown that really was the difference in this one, and your defense came up with some big plays. Just what your thoughts on this game?
Our offense played horrible, but Dave over there, man, he's something else, making every play. That punt, I'm sitting over here, I'm trying to block it. I turn around, he's running side to side, makes a huge play for us, puts us right back in the game. Him on defense especially, stepping up big. Joel Maggs, our middle linebacker, man, he's something good. He can lay some wood, covering side to side everywhere, and our D-line's our strong point, but with that big O-line over there, they're huge, man. We had to use our speed, had to get to the ball every play. was a battle, tough one.
Yeah, and you guys came on defense, especially after you guys got them. You guys stopped them. You guys stopped them twice, and then you got the big 4th down stop right there to kind of seal the game. Was that just you guys finding the will to win this game?
It's D-line, man. The balls, and anywhere it went, passing, we're chasing it down, D-line. When we come out here on Friday night, we're here to play. We're moving side to side, making every play.
All right, man, you're 3-0 right now. Moving forward, got another big one coming up.
Oh, yeah, really big one. Fenwick. A little nervous, coming here. Last time they played us here, it wasn't so pretty. We didn't score, shut us out, but, we got a new team. David, man, he's gonna carry us on this one, definitely.
All right, man, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, high school, and we are back. We are back. High school football, week 3 highlights. Check these out. All right, and we are back. Okay, quickly, Friday, the night game at Manning Field is going to be a big one. Rivals, Bishop Fenwick and St. Mary's. If you were there last year when St. Mary's went to Bishop Fenwick and got the overtime win in a wild game, you're probably going to be there this week, this Friday, because both teams are undefeated. This is for first place in the conference. It's a big game. It's a big game. So make sure y'all are there. It should be a good one.
And we don't lose to Fenwick. I haven't lost to Fenwick. Hopefully they're not going to start a new trend this year.
Shout out to Anthony Anderson for talking to some of my TV production students, telling them about his basketball journey and everything that led to him.
Very wise man.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. He was with us for like an hour or so. Anthony don't like talking about himself, but
He really don't.
He don't. He said it from the beginning. He don't really like talking about himself, but he just did it because he wanna show them kids that there's a way out of Lynn. And not just with basketball.
One thing I noticed too about coming from Lynn, like the guys that actually hoop, like we don't really say too much about anything, and the people who like want to relive and didn't do much, they always want to talk about what they did and didn't do and all. I just don't understand that. Like just let people find out who you was, then you can embellish on if they want to know more about you. I mean, don't be telling people, hey, I played here, so it's like, bro, nobody cares, bro. Like, let them ask you, where'd you play at? You know what I mean?
Facts. All right. Week 3, top 10 plays. Check these out. right, we are back. Okay, yeah. I keep forgetting to tally up our picks, so trust me, I'm gonna do it. Life be happening, and I just be too busy.
Do you know if I picked these guys, the Eagles or Washington?
I think you picked the Eagles.
I hope I
I'm pretty
did.
sure you picked the Eagles.
I don't think I'll ever pick Washington ever again when I found out Wentz was their quarterback.
Yeah, I think we both picked the Eagles.
I hope so.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been rocking with Hurts.
I hope I didn't pick Washington. But I will go back and look at it, and then I'll tally it all up for the last couple weeks. So, life has been happening to us. All right.
Yes, life has been happening.
Let's do our week. Okay, week number 4. We're in week 4. Oh, man. Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins and Bengals. I'm kind of interested in watching this one. This is in Cincinnati.
I'm sick of rooting for Cincinnati right now. I'm going with Miami, man.
I am going with the Bengals just because they are at home.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
I want to go with the Dolphins, but I think the Bengals. No. Yeah, I'm going to just go with the Bengals. No, I'm going with the Dolphins. Screw that. I'm going with the Dolphins. I just remembered something. I'm going with the Dolphins. Vikings, Saints. This is in London.
Oh, they got to witness that? I'm going to go with the Vikings, man.
Me too. I'm going to go with the Vikings because I don't know what the Saints offense is doing. Browns and Falcons.
I'm going to go with the Falcons, man.
You want the Falcons?
Yeah, man.
I'm going to go with the Browns. They're consistently just going to run the ball.
Yeah, this is true.
Commanders. I'm picking the Cowboys. I ain't picking
the
Washington.
boys all day.
No, I ain't picking Washington. Seahawks, Lions.
I'm going with the Lions.
Me too. I told you I like the Lions coach. That's the only reason I be picking him.
Plus, I feel like Geno's already shown us who he is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Here's a real slobber knocker. Titans and Colts. In Indy.
Is Henry playing? Is he injured?
He's playing.
He's playing? Oh. I'm going to go with the Titans then.
I'm going to go with the Colts. Bears and Giants.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Bears, man.
Going with the Bears?
Yeah, I hope they figure it out.
I'm going to go with the Bears, too. Jaguars and Eagles. Ooh. Oh, this is in Philly.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, if it was in Jacksonville, I would have said the Jaguars, but it's in Philly.
I almost said the J by accident.
Jets, Steelers.
Jets. Jets.
I'm going.
You will never hear that ever again.
I'm picking the Steelers.
Oh my God.
He ain't never picking the Steelers again.
No, they should have won another game.
This game should be a primetime game, but it's a 1 o'clock game. Bills and Ravens in Baltimore.
I thought you was talking about that last game.
Oh,
Like,
no.
what? I'm going with the Bills, man.
I'm going Ravens because they home. Chargers, Texans.
Chargers.
Same Chargers. Cardinals, Panthers.
Who's home?
Panthers.
Cardinals.
Same, I'm going to Cardinals. Packers, Patriots. We're going with the Pats. Raiders need a win.
Who are they playing?
Broncos in Vegas. Raiders are the only 0-3 team. They need a win.
It's so hard for me to root against my team, but I'm gonna stick with them. Go ahead, Raiders.
Me too, because I saw the Broncos and 49ers play a 10-11 game. The score was 10-11.
And Russell's bugging. He been holding the ball like
trash. Chiefs and Bucks in Tampa.
Chiefs.
You going with the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I will go with Tampa because the Chiefs got some bad habits. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, Rams and 49ers.
Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams because the 49ers scored 10 points. On that note, we're out of here. LCTV After the Whistle, Mukala K, Instagram, Mr. Burton, 23, Instagram, lyntv.org, Lynn Community Television, Facebook, YouTube. Come down to the studio, sign up for a membership, do a show, do something, use the equipment, all that good stuff.
Do something. You heard it, man.
We out of here. Students, do your work.